Yeah, this is Motor Boss Player coming at you with another movie review. And talk about Beetlejuice. I got watched this movie a couple weeks ago. I finally got a chance to watch it. I wasn't expecting too much from this Beetlejuice movie. Somewhat 30 years later, they made a remake of this movie, well, a sequel. And this movie, like, I give it a 3 out of 5. This movie kind of had like a streaming feel to it. Like this movie could be on like Netflix or Hulu or Max or Paramount Plus. It's basically what I got out this movie. This movie is like a streaming movie. It came out movie theaters and it really didn't do all that well. This movie should have came out on the streaming site, you know, like Hulu or Netflix or Paramount Plus. One of those three, one of them. So yeah, it was okay. You know, Michael Keaton. It had him doing these unfunny jokes in this movie. It was just, and then the afterlife. Some of these people that had died, and they died in some messed up ways, and some of the stuff wasn't funny in the way some of the people was depicted after they passed away, and it wasn't all that funny to me. Then it had like a little Soul Train thing of what these people get on the train when they souls or whatever after they die, and they were dancing and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's so cringe. Some of the jokes didn't hit, and that Soul Train thing was just cringe worthy. They had black people dancing. I'm like, okay, man, come on, Beetlejuice. Oh God. It just wasn't, to me, it was okay movie to watch one good time. It wasn't funny. It was nothing. It was not all that good. The villain of the movie, she was very weak. She was chasing Beetlejuice throughout the whole movie. Then when she got to Beetlejuice and she ended up, losing at the end of the movie, it was just like, okay, so y'all made this woman the main villain and she didn't do anything when she got the chance to get to Beetlejuice. I was like, oh my God. It seemed like they just rushed this movie out. And like I said, they should have put this movie on streaming, man. They really did. There's really nothing I can say good about this movie. I mean, the jokes didn't land. Michael Keaton tried to be funny, and it just wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. Talk about the juice is loose. Coming up with these old, tired 1980s comedy jokes. That could have, that didn't land good. It was just like, oh my God, man. I didn't have a problem watching it. I didn't. It was okay, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. It's not a bad movie. It seems like they rushed this movie. They didn't do a good job with the script. It seemed like they edited some things out this movie, I think. And this is what it looked like to me. It just looked like a streaming movie. Didn't look like no Hollywood production movie, like they spent like $200 million on this movie. It looked cheap. The CGI was terrible in this movie. I'm like, oh my God. The original Beetlejuice looked better than this one. And the CGI back in the 80s, 1988, or whenever this movie came out, they didn't even upgrade the CGI. Like they didn't have enough money for the CGI in this movie. It was just like, okay, what are y'all doing? They could have just left Beetlejuice on the shelf. They didn't need to make another sequel to Beetlejuice. That's what I'm saying. They did not need to make another sequel to this movie. They really didn't. And it was a waste of time and a waste of money. I mean, but it's worth a good time. One good time watch. So it's been Motor Boss Player. I'm a holler.